Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack open just one chapter of an ancient letter, 1 Peter, chapter 5, and we're going to turn it into a visual playbook for life. Our goal? To make this so vivid you won't be able to forget it. Let's dive right in.
So let's just start with a huge question. What if you had a strategic guide for navigating leadership, humility, and even conflict? Well, that's exactly how we're going to treat this chapter. This isn't just some old text. Think of it as a practical, actionable game plan for your life.
All right, first play in the book. This is all about leadership. Peter lays out a really clear set of instructions for anyone who's in a position of influence, whether you're a CEO, a parent, or the captain of your local sports team. So Peter kicks things off by establishing his credentials, but probably not in the way you'd expect. He doesn't pull rank. Instead, right here in verse 1, he calls himself a fellow elder. He's positioning himself as a teammate, an eyewitness to both the struggles and the amazing glory that's still to come. The picture you should have in your head is this. Peter isn't some distant commander barking orders from a safe headquarters. No, he's right there in the huddle with the team. His authority comes from that shared experience, from being a fellow witness who has been through it all. Now, in verses 2 and 3, Peter gives the core job description for a leader. And get this, the key verb isn't command or manage, it's shepherd. And then he gives 3 crucial pairs of do this, not that, for how to do it right. So Peter breaks leadership down into 3 super practical plays. First, serve willingly, because you want to, not because you have to. Second, serve eagerly, for the good of the team, not for what you can get out of it. And third, serve as an example. Lead from the front, don't just boss people around. It's this powerful combo of heart, motive, and modeling. And here it is in verse 4, the payoff. After laying out all the hard work that goes into good leadership, Peter points to the ultimate reward. It's a promise straight from the chief shepherd, the ultimate leader, for a job well done. So, for this, imagine a crown. But it's not made of gold that can tarnish or get stolen. No. This is a crown of pure glory, like a wreath of light that never ever wilts. It's a symbol of an eternal, priceless reward for being a faithful leader, an honor that literally lasts forever. Okay, now the playbook makes a pivot. Peter shifts his focus from just the leaders to, well, the entire team. This next section is for everyone, and it's all about the surprising, incredible power of humility. Verse 5 starts by talking about mutual submission, not just the young respecting the old, but everyone respecting each other. And then Peter gives this amazing command, be clothed with humility. Think about that. Humility isn't just a feeling, it's an action. It's something you have to intentionally put on, like getting dressed every single morning. And Peter lays out this really stark choice. On one side, you have pride, which God actively opposes. He pushes against it. On the other side, you have humility, which receives his grace, his unearned favor and strength. It's a fundamental principle, and there's absolutely no middle ground. So verse 6 gives us the action step. This isn't about waiting for life to humble you. It's about choosing to humble yourself. And where do you do this? Under the mighty hand of God, trusting that the same incredible power will lift you up at exactly the right time. The mental image here is just incredible. Picture yourself willingly choosing to kneel under this massive, powerful, but gentle hand. You're trusting that this hand, which could easily crush you, is instead there to protect you, and eventually to lift you up when the moment is perfect. It's all about finding strength in surrender. And check out verse 7, because this is one of the greatest benefits of that humble posture. When you're under God's mighty hand, you're in the perfect position to unload all your anxieties. It's a direct invitation that says, give me your worries, because you matter to me. This is the great exchange humility offers. Imagine you're wearing a heavy backpack, and it's just stuffed with everything you're worried about. You're invited to take that backpack off and literally throw it to him. You trade the full weight of your anxiety for his peace, all because of one simple, profound truth. He genuinely cares for you. Okay, take a breath, because the tone of the playbook is about to shift big time. We're moving from building character to identifying an external threat. Peter is now laying out the defensive strategy. The commands here in verse 8 are so sharp and urgent. Be sober, be vigilant. In other words, stay clear-headed, keep your self-control, and stay alert. Why? Because you have an adversary, and he's compared to a roaring lion, constantly on the prowl, just looking for someone to isolate and attack. For this, just picture a lone guard on a dark city wall. He's not paranoid or scared. He's prepared.
His eyes are wide open and he's scanning the shadows, watching for any sign of the predator he knows is out there. That's the kind of vigilance Peter's talking about. So what do you do when the lion shows up? Verse 9 gives us the counter move. You don't run. You don't try to fight in your own strength. You resist. You stand your ground firm in what you believe. And then Peter adds this crucial piece of encouragement. You are not alone in this fight. The same struggle is happening all over the world. The image here is powerful. You see one person standing firm, but then the camera pulls back, and you realize it's not just one person. It's a global community, countless others, all standing in the exact same way, resisting the same adversary with the same faith. There is so much strength in knowing you stand together. And that brings us to the final section of our playbook. This is where we get the promise. After the struggle, there is strength. This is like the coach pulling the team in for one final huddle, giving the ultimate encouragement. Verse 10 is pure promise. It acknowledges that, suffering happens after you have suffered a while. But that is never the end of the story. The God of all grace personally steps in to do 4 specific things to restore you. Think of these as 4 pillars God uses to rebuild you. First, he will perfect you, which means mending what was broken. Then he will establish you, making you steady and firm. After that, he will strengthen you with new power. And finally, he will settle you, placing you on a foundation that cannot be shaken. And in the final verses, 11 through 14, it's basically the closing credits. Peter gives all the glory back to God. He gives a quick shout out to his scribe, Silvanus. He passes on greetings from other believers, encourages community, and he signs off with a final, powerful word of peace. So that's the playbook of 1 Peter chapter 5. We've covered leadership, humility, spiritual defense, and the promise of restoration. The only question left is, which one of these plays are you going to run today? Will you practice being an example? Will you choose to clothe yourself with humility? Or maybe cast one of your worries onto him? The next move is yours.